All right, YouTube land. Thanks to other people catching some stuff, I finally figured this DOPH2 and the 553 gyro setup. So what I didn't understand, I guess I look at things a little bit different than Futaba, but I figured since it's an S-Bus2 protocol, it was doing both over one thing. They've split it for some reason. They've got one lead doing signal only. The other one, I'm guessing, is power. Maybe what it uses to send the signal that it makes back to the gyro. So that's what I think it's doing. One of these leads is just essentially it getting a signal from the radio. So when you make an input, it's reading that. And then this other way is sending the data back out to the servos. So instead of doing it all like a two-lane road, sending data both ways, traffic-wise, they're doing a 4-lane road. I don't understand that, because when you hook this gyro straight to a receiver via the S-Bus2 port, you just need one lead. You don't need two, but for this, you do two. And that was the fix. I will say that what's kind of misleading is it says S-Bus2 on here, and then the instructions say S-Bus for this top one. This top channel, there's an S-Bus2 on the bottom, which is horizontal, and then the vertical S-Bus/R2 port that you have to make sure it's in S-Bus versus R2, which is rudder 2, is technically, the way they label it, is an S-Bus. So that's misleading as well, because this S-Bus2 port actually plugs into that S-Bus port, which is the vertical one, and then the S-Bus2 port on your DOPH plugs into this is an S-Bus port, not S-Bus2. The S-Bus2 is here and here, but this is an S-Bus2 port, which plugs into the S-Bus2 port on the gyro. So it's a little bit of confusion there, but I was thinking I could do it with one lead. And as soon as I put in the second lead, it works great. So you do need to set it up 3 channels per the manual, which I don't like, because you have to do that setup right there in your radio, because if you don't, I haven't played with it too much, but another video I saw said if you don't do an aileron gain, an elevator gain, and a rotor gain, that it doesn't work, but I haven't played with that yet. The recovery mode, it says that you can use it if you want, so I'm gonna try to assign channel 10 to something else and check it to make sure that it still works, but if it doesn't, then you may have to keep that channel 10. It just sucks using 4 channels for a gyro. Kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm going for. But, so I've got it working, and let's see, let's turn it on here. You'll see it initialize. There you go. And I've got it on a 3-position switch. There you go. Top position, I'm just gonna do 0, so it turns it off essentially. Second will be a setting, and then third will be a higher setting. So once I figure out what my gain needs to be, then I'll just assign this to a 2-position switch, so it'll be off, and then whatever gain I have set. And you do this, you can set your gains via the gyro menu under airplane, page 2, 3, gyro, and then that's where you set it. And you've got the 3 aileron, elevator, and rudder gyros, axes, and you can individually change and tweak those. If you wanted, you can even assign that to a different switch, but I'm not doing all that. And you can change it from normal to heading lock and all that stuff. So yeah, there you go. Thanks to the person that commented and caught what I was doing wrong. And that's why I do what I do. 1, I learn shit. 2, you learn stuff, and we get through it, So Futaba's instructions aren't the best sometimes, and they can be mislabeled as apparent here. So anyways, just wanted to update you guys on that. So kind of getting back to it, I installed the engine stuff. I ran pump leads, so the leads to the pumps are ran from the pumps around here. I'm actually got 2-sided tape these on. These will be covered up with the speed brake catch. I got the throttle leads made, and then my telemetry leads will plug in right here on each side, and I'll run those. The telemetry adapters will run up and plug into the receiver as well if I decide to use them. Or if I'm going to use any kind of GSU, what I might do is if I use the smart data terminals, I will just run a lead back to the engine bay here and then plug in if need be, or mount the, heck, I could mount them right here, but I don't like to mount the GCUs. Even though they're small and tiny, don't weigh much. If I mount them, I will definitely mount them in the nose, I think, because, I mean, I could mount them back here, but I'm trying to push as much weight forward as possible because I think it's gonna need it, because I think this is gonna come out, you know, like really tail heavy, even with batteries, so. But there you go, guys. That's what I got done last night. I have all the servos ran from the rear forward. So now everything is just hooking up and running servo leads from the rear, from the nose to the power system here in the middle, and then running all my battery cables, the battery leads. Made these cool little guys here. So I'll be running the heavier gauge all the way down to the actual hub, and same for the power system. So, but I'm gonna get back to it. You guys have a good one. Cheers.